What the fuck is up, everybody? Well, happy Wednesday. Happy hump day to you. Hope you're having a great Wednesday. Great first half of the week. Welcome into Derelict Sports. If you guys haven't already, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button, hit the notification button, and hit the like button if you could, especially if you're on YouTube. If you're watching on YouTube, please make sure you guys hit that like button. It really helps out the stream. Hit that notification button so you guys don't. Goddamn. So you guys don't miss any streams. And then please drop a comment down below. So, all right, guys. Big, not really a big day. I almost said big day in sports. Really not a big day in sports. We did get the MVP for the NBA announced today, which I was hoping we'd get to know a little later in the day. I didn't know that they said before tip off on Wednesday, and then of course fucking was it like 1:30, 2 o'clock this afternoon they drop who won. So we'll get into that, have a little bit of that. We've also had a pretty big owners meeting for the NFL. Tush push, the Eagles, the brotherly shove, the old don't drop the soper. It's hot debate for the last couple seasons. And today they finally had a vote for it to ban it, which we will get into. And even if it didn't pass today, I think that I do think the ban for the tush push is on its way. So make sure you guys kick your feet up for the next hour or so. We're gonna kick back, talk some shit. Of course, Derelict Dale over there looking sweet in his fucking
Toque.
beanie
Toque.
in his skull cap. Is it cold over there?
A toque. Fuck, goddamn. It's a toque.
Is it cold?
It's been raining fucking cats and dogs for like 3 days here. It's been ugly.
Yeah, that's
So,
not good. It's been raining here too like a bitch, but right now it's just hot and fucking muggy is what it is right now with us. But the rain will be coming. It's supposed to be whole first half of the week. We've had some pretty crazy storms. I mean, we've been on the national news the last few days. St. Louis been getting torn up. So at least today we have a little break from that. So that's
yeah,
neat.
you've had some
But other than
wild
that, dude,
weather
how
in
we
your.
do? What?
You've had some wild weather in your neck of the woods.
Yeah, that's what I just said. We were on the national news.
Like, it's like when is tornado season for like the Midwest? Isn't it not till like late summer?
I don't know. It's now ish.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, once the hot weather starts rolling in, dude, and yeah, I mean it's usually May, June, and then June, June, July. It's St. Louis weather, dude. I mean that's what they always said about Midwest weather, but St. Louis weather, we can have all four fucking seasons in one day. It's the most ridiculous thing.
Yeah.
You never know. I mean, St. Louis, dude, you gotta. I mean, you wear fucking hoodie and shorts, dude. It's stupid as shit. But yeah, today we had a little bit of a break. They're setting up all kinds of tornado reliefs and shit all over the city, so that's pretty good. Pretty cool. So if you guys haven't already, man, make sure if you guys have extra money, man, find you a donation spot for St. Louis. And yeah, a lot of people displaced, a lot of people without homes, food and shit. So anything helps. So. But all right, well, let's get into some shit. We do have a little bit of breaking news here, but yeah, 28 minutes ago,
Yes, sir.
the man himself, Jim Irsay, dead. Dead?
Dead?
Jim Irsay, who's only like, what they say, 60?
I was gonna ask you. Probably guessing like 62 or something like that.
He looked like he was 100.
Oh yeah, dude lived a life. That's for sure.
Like, straight up 100 years old. I mean, I know, and that's without him being sick with, what do you have, cancer or something? So,
Yeah.
that was before he had cancer, and then he got cancer, and then he looked, obviously, a little, deteriorated. But yeah, Jim Irsay, man, what a guy. A lot of ups and downs. My favorite story of Jim Irsay is them. Who is it that they let? Was it who is it they left in the bathroom? Hey,
Ooh.
Josh McDaniels. Remember the Josh McDaniels thing when he like had somebody over to his personal house for the interview, and then he got up and he went to their house or something, and then he went to the bathroom for like an hour.
Yeah.
I think that was Josh McDaniels.
Yeah, I'm not sure who, but I've heard. I know which story you're talking about. Yeah, yeah.
Good old Jim Irsay. I mean, this guy DUIs, but the guy's a savage, and on top of it is a multiple time
It's a cold
or just
spot.
one with Peyton.
They beat the Bears. Did they get? I think they only won the one.
I think they only won the one, but obviously through the Peyton era, a lot of competitive teams. Jim Irsay's been. I mean, he's owned the Colts for
Ever?
ever, basically. I mean, so I didn't know this. I mean, I literally when you said Jim Irsay died, I'm like, excuse. So I hit the old tweeter up, and of course, here it is. But they said. Let me see. I know I just saw something about how old Jim Irsay was.
What a
Yeah,
poor.
look at this. Cavs trading Evan Mobley to Bucks for Giannis comes up in talks with NFL execs, agents. Jesus Christ. I gotta quit yawning, dude. What is going on right now? Browns one of the yeah. By the way, and shout out to the Browns, one of the 10 teams that voted against the old Tushy push. So we'll get into that here in a little bit. Let's fucking go.
Oh yeah, I was gonna ask you if they released the teams that voted against it.
Yeah, so the teams that voted against it all fucking 65. Jim Irsay 65.
Okay. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so the teams that voted against the Tush push today, which we'll get into in a minute, they and pretty basically all the teams that voted against it, they're just bottom feeder pieces of shit. It's the shit teams, and then you get it, which minus the Browns, right? I mean the Browns are also a bottom feeding piece of shit. But they voted the other way, so that's why let's fucking go, boys. Proud of you, proud of you, proud of you, because you could have just said,
Sorry.
we
Excuse
can't
me.
score points. God bless you.
Thank you.
God fucking bless you.
I feel
They
blessed.
could have said, we can't score, right? We can't stop anybody from scoring. We suck, basically at everything. Man, maybe we should pass this rule to maybe stop the best scoring team from scoring. Maybe we just throw a wrench. Fuck these people, right? We can't score. They can. Fuck them. Right? No, dude. They said, let them do it, dude. We love it. And I love it. It's good shit. There was again, we're gonna get into that. There apparently they got pretty heated today. Actually, fuck it. Let's just get into it, dude. I
Yeah.
keep saying we're gonna get into it. What the fuck are we gonna get into first, right, right, Dale?
Yeah.
Not much.
Hey Jim, thanks for everything. You're a great. You give us some funny stories.
Shout
Let's
out
get
to
to the good
Jim.
stuff.
Thanks, Jim. Rest in peace. Fuck cancer. Cancer sucks. We all know somebody that wait, hold on. Where do me and the people expect anyway. Yeah, shout out to Jim though, dude. Big win for Jim. Cancer sucks. We all know somebody that died of cancer. Sorry, I wrote some guy I follow, some hockey Twitter I follow, posted this morning about Trailer Park Boys, that show Trailer Park Boys, know.
Bubbles.
And
Yeah.
I just put first 9 or 10 seasons are pretty untouchable, but then it kind of fell off once they started, and then it's obviously sparking debates, and I just got like 4 replies to it, so I was just reading the replies. Quit yawning, pussy.
Wake up, asshole.
Dude, it's been a fucking day, boys,
gonna
and I know nobody gives a shit about my day, like outside of you, but like,
It's kicking your ass.
dude, I got fucking It was like Thomas the Train gave me a fucking colon check all day, dude. Just train in my ass.
Because it was. Did you get rid of all those pallets that were all lined up, or that you
Oh,
still?
bub, that was a long time ago.
I
That
know.
been
It's,
that
is it a
plus
new
some.
problem? It's a new problem, just like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's get into the old TP. All right, so Philadelphia Eagles, right? They found a cheat code a couple years ago. Can't stop it. If you're at the 1 yard line, or if it's a 3rd and 1, 4th and 1, 4th and inches, sometimes even like a short 4th and 2, they'll fucking do this thing where they line up tushy push, right? The brotherly shove, whatever you want to fucking call it. It's been unstoppable. And then obviously there's been teams, most notably, it's kind of weird. Like it's like all shit teams and then the Bills, right? The Bills, so it's kind of like the Browns, right? The Browns and the Bills kind of swapped places on this, and it was like, like I said, it's all bad teams that were against it. All good teams were like, well, they invented a fucking play that you can't stop. Let them, it's not our fault. I think who said, somebody said today, who the fuck was it? Was it not Dan Campbell? It was one of the like, more like hoorah guys in the NFL, and they were like, well, what are you gonna do? Ban, like, Lamar Jackson is great at running. Should we just ban Lamar Jackson from scrambling? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Mhm.
it is what it is. So, but the Bills, they were very against it. So they were like the one great team that was like super against it. And then, like I said, the Browns, who, they can't do dick right. They were for it. So it's sparked a lot of fucking debate, and it seemed a couple weeks ago, right? It seemed like we weren't gonna have this. I'm not gonna lie to you, Dale. When this came back up, I was like, well, wait. I thought I knew the vote hadn't happened yet, but it seemed like a few weeks ago they were like, well, we're gonna shelve this talk because there isn't enough, whatever, right? I mean, wasn't that what 2-3 weeks ago?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, that sounds about right.
And we're like, okay, that's in the past, or at least like we don't have to worry about that. It seemed like what I think the words it was worded something like there were even people that were for it, but like the language wasn't right or something, right? Like they just really didn't get the rule down to what it should, they just didn't hammer it out all the way out. So they're like, well, we're pretty much still for it, but we'll get back into it next year. We'll talk about it when we have more time to think about it and maybe develop a better rule. Well, out of nowhere, we're getting fucking Diane Rossini, who I put today. I said this today. In the group chat that we're in, the collab lab thing. I'm like, look, Diana Rossini nowadays, she's so goddamn wrong about things that she should just wake up in the morning. She should just get on Twitter. She should just tweet out, sports are going to happen today, and then she should just log the fuck back out, right? Because that's about the gist of what you're getting from Diana Rossini. I woke up this morning, she was like, the votes are there. They're the votes, it's in favor of the tush push, no matter, let me see if I can find the actual tweet, because like the verbiage, you would have thought, oh yeah, dude, we're fucking, it's good, right? Or it's done, it's over. Well, it wasn't. She was wrong. Let me see. 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 Here are the teams that supported it, by the way. Teams that supported it were Ravens, Patriots, Lions, Jets. Those were some,
Mhm.
according to Diana here. Also, love the response from the Eagles here. Look at this. Did you see that picture the Eagles put up?
No.
I really fucked up. Now, every time I share something, it goes to this page
Oh.
or that thing, and it's annoying. But yeah, they put this up the moment that it got.
Good job, Eagles Twitter. Good job.
So obviously, because the Packers were like the other big, like they were like the main driving force behind this, right? They were the one. It was their rule. Their, usually like it takes one team to officially like put it up for a
Propose.
rule change, right?
Yeah.
Propose the rule change. And the Packers were the one that bit the bullet on this one. The line I didn't see any other voting results today, but I did see the one about the Lions. They, I guess, rescinded their playoff seeding one that we had talked about a while back.
Okay. Yeah.
They
Yeah.
had rescinded that, so that didn't pass.
And there
Uh,
was a
uh,
kicker one, right? Oh, something to do with the
the
balls,
onside
right?
kick one did pass. So the onside kick is, so now the onside kick is, right, last year the rule was, right, you could only do the onside kick. You had to let the team know, but you had to be trailing in the fourth quarter, right?
Right.
Well, they have now changed it to um, you can now do it at any point in the game, but you have to be trailing. You still have to let the other team know, which is dumb. So you have to let them know. You just have to be trailing. And I believe, don't quote me on this part, but I'm almost positive that you are moving 5 yards closer to the opposing team,
Oh,
maybe
okay.
is what it is, or something like
The kickoff moved
I
up
think you're
5 yards.
moving some sort of a distance closer, I think, for
Okay.
being able to do it, which, they have to make it impossible, right? They're like, we're gonna make it because, I mean, you move it closer, obviously that means that the chances of you now kicking the ball and returning it is, it's gonna be a little harder to do that, right?
Right.
But other than that, really no other big rule changes. I mean, the onside kick, that I really think the whole having to tell a team that you're about to do the onside kick might be one of the dumbest fucking things I've ever heard in my life. But we've also got a ghost runner in the MLB, right? They also you get to the extra innings, and all of a sudden you just get to put a guy at second. It's fucking stupid. All right? It's stupid. It's not technically as stupid as a rouge, right? That might be the dumbest. Is that what it's called?
You are correct. It is called a
Fucking
rouge.
dumb, dude. It's the stupidest shit. It's like the nicest, dumbest Canadian thing in the world. It's like, you fucked up. It looks so ugly. We feel bad for you. Sorry. Here, take a point. Sorry.
You tried to cough and corner him, but it went into the end zone. Well, here's a point for you.
Sorry,
Good
you
try.
fucked up. We'll give you a point.
Sorry. Sorry. Sorry.
Unfucking real, dude. So, but the Ghost Runner and now the having to tell a team you're going to do, like, what's the point of the onside kick? Like, I don't even know. I'm sure I could find this. I could have looked this up before this to have a little bit but I'd like to know how many successful onside kicks there were last year, because, I mean, good Lord, I would guess it was on one hand.
I remember at some point in time in the season, it was like 2 out of 30, approximately. So it's like 1 out of every 15. And how many onside kicks are happening in the NFL in a week? 3.
Successful onside kicks. All right. 3 to 41.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So that's 1 out
So
of every.
tell me the three teams.
Dallas got one and scored a touchdown. I do remember that.
They were the first one.
Okay.
Very first one to do it. 2 other teams.
I don't know. I remember the Dallas one because that was against the I almost called them the Redskins, the Commanders. Did the Commanders get one in? No, because they won the Hail Mary against the Bears. No. Did they get it? Did they get it onside kick to get to the Hail Mary? No. Okay.
No, but you just said one of them.
The Bears.
The Bears were one.
Oh, who did
Who's
they
the
do it
third?
Somebody, the Buccaneers.
Yes, actually.
Oh, really? Nice.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
That's fucking crazy.
I
You
legitimately
piece
got
of
2 of them.
shit. How the fuck did you do that?
That's dumbass luck. The Cowboys one I did remember. The Bears one I have no fucking clue, and the Bucks is just a total.
The one, I mean, the fuck, you were like, boom, Cowboys right out of the gate. That
No,
was good.
because the
That was
Cowboys
good.
one, I remember they got it and then they returned it for a touchdown, and all of the people that bet the under in that game got the pew. That's why.
Yeah,
I
they were
remember
the
that
first
one.
and only one to do it for the touchdown.
So 3 of 41. So 3 of 42 would be 1 out of every 14. So yeah.
That's fucking wild. Yeah, I mean, so it's just not a lot of big ones though. I was trying to think of the word. Really, not a lot of big rule changes that are taking place. I mean, obviously 41 onside kicks. I mean, to me, does it seem like I guess they're trying to push it out, right? So it seems like they're trying to get that out of the game. It seems like it's working a little bit. 41 times last year, only 3 successful. So I'm sure maybe we'll see more because you can't do it. You can do it more than just the fourth quarter. Like I'm sure only being able to do it down in the fourth quarter has something to do with that number, but we'll just have to see. But the Tush push, biggest one of the day, doesn't get the votes. 22-10, I believe, was the final vote. But it got pretty heated, is what I hear today. I hear that Jeffrey Lurie got on the phone today, and apparently it got pretty heated. He got into it with Troy Vincent, who, ex-Eagle, right? Now head of the NFLPA. Troy Vincent definitely he is ballooned up a little bit. Saw a picture of him today. I was like, God damn, Troy Vincent. But they got a little heated today. I'm sure they're going to get into it here. So we're going to kind of read through this Seth Wickersham ESPN article. Kind of gets into it today. But yeah, apparently Jeffrey Lurie got on the phone and just kind of let motherfuckers have it today. I mean, I think he's probably sick of it. And this is a guy that, you don't really hear too much. I mean, you hear about him doing good things. You don't really hear much about him. Him and Howie are pretty like, you only hear from them when you have to, right? Like you're not hearing from them all the time. They're pretty stay in their lane people, do their thing. They, until this. I mean, you come up with and you got to think from their point of view, right? You scheme a play that is basically fucking unstoppable, and they're trying to take it from you. So let's read through this. So it says debate over the Tush push led to a heated exchange between NFL owners and league executives Wednesday morning during the league meeting in Eagan, Minnesota. Multiple sources with firsthand knowledge tell ESPN. The discussion occurred during what is called a general session, is what they call it, which is attended by owners and team and league executives. Philadelphia owner Jeffrey Lurie made an impassioned speech in defense of the play. He says the Eagles and the NFL declined comment, but source close to Jeffrey Lurie told ESPN that he had seen reports from earlier in the day that the Tush push was going to be banned. This is what I said. Actually, that's hilarious because in me being an idiot, I never did pull up the Diana Rossini tweet. So let me scroll just so I can get the verbiage right on that one.
Mm-hmm.
Because I do need to highlight that she was like, I mean, did she take the goddamn tweet down?
That would be outstanding if she did.
Did this broad take the tweet down? Stay updated. Development suggests team owners will vote in favor to proposal ban the play. Dude, I think she took the goddamn tweet down.
Own it, lady. Own it, Diana.
What the fuck? Yeah, because she was like, yeah, she definitely deleted this 100% because it was like, despite the Eagles' best attempts, it appears, the Tush push is on its way out, is the way she ended the tweet this morning. And yeah, it's not here at all. She definitely deleted that motherfucking tweet.
Bless her heart.
Diana Rossini, wrong. That's fight. You type in Diana Russ, and that's what it says. Oh, she did delete it. Look, it's actually a talk on Twitter.
Oh, there you go.
This one says meteorologist and Diana Rossini never held accountable for being wrong. So here's the tweet. I knew I wasn't a crackhead.
He's only
hours away from the owners'
everybody.
vote surrounding the future of the Tush push, I'm told both the league's competition and players' health and safety committees have voted to ban the play. Despite the Eagles' best efforts, the Tush push is likely on its way out, is what she said this morning. That tweet is not there. I just scrolled through. It's not there. So she definitely. Diana, is this what says Diana should find new sources because they are lying. She has been wrong multiple times now. Tough stretch of offseason for Diana Rossini. Been wrong a lot. This one says Diana Rossini is legit, never right about anything. Yeah, I mean, look, and she's a sweet lady. I don't want to dunk on her because, like, she does seem like a sweet lady, but Jesus Christ, like, you're fucking wrong all of the time. So yeah, she was basically pushing that, that sorry, I'm trying to get this off the screen.
It's all good.
I don't want to show any hockey highlights and then they're going to take our shit down. Not that it matters. I mean, we get 10, 15 views about monetization wise. They'd unmonetize it, but we're not monetized anyway. All right. So anyway, back to this. Pull this hoe back up. Man, what it do, ho? Now what it do, ho? Now what it do, ho? All right. So he says Jeffrey Lurie made an impassioned speech in defense of the play. The Eagles and the NFL declined comment, but sources closest to Lurie tells ESPN that he had seen reports from early in the day, probably from Diana, that the tush push was going to be banned. So he figured the odds of the play's survival were long. Towards the end of the speech that lasted close to an hour, Lurie made an analogy. This is where it gets interesting. This is what I read earlier, telling the room that regardless, this is good. It makes sense. Weird analogy, right? Very weird old white man analogy, but true. Regardless of whether the play was banned, it was a win-win for the Eagles, adding that it was like a wet dream for a teenage boy to create a play that was so successful that the only way for it to be stopped was for it to be banned.
I did not hear. That is a very unique way of saying it. It's not wrong.
It's like coming in your sleep like a teenager. It is a teenager, dude.
Boy, is it a weird way to get your point across.
It's like falling asleep fucking chest down, dude. Next thing you know, you got a fucking, you're doing cock push-ups in your sleep and you do a little spit from your dick.
It is what it is.
And they didn't stop there because this is where the argument ensued. After Lurie was finished speaking, Executive Vice President of Football Ops, Troy Vincent, chastised the Eagles owner for the wet dream comment, specifically for saying it in front of women.
Okay, well, I can kind of get that. That makes a little bit of sense.
Lurie spoke for several more minutes, it says, adding that whoever voted to ban the play would be taking liability for putting quarterbacks at risks. He criticized NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell and Vincent for advocating the ban, adding that he had spoken to NFL Chief Medical Officer Alan Sills at length about the play. So he called out Roger Goodell to his face, said, "Hey, pussy, quit being a pussy." And it looks like it worked, right? So, I mean, that's pretty cool. But let's back up for a minute. What do you think about the win-win comment? Do you agree with that? Obviously the analogy is a little weird, but how do you feel about the thought process of it is a win-win, right? Like if you don't pass it, we obviously win, right? We keep the tush push. We keep the play that no one can stop, right? We're basically going to be, indefensible when we get into the one large scoring situation, short down situations. And then if they do pass it, right, you're basically admitting that we have schemed up a play so good and so unstoppable that you guys had no other way to stop it but to gang up on us and vote in favor of banning it and getting it out of the game. Do you agree with that sentiment? Like, do you think that that's a pretty 50-50 glass half full way of looking at it, huh?
Yeah, it's pretty accurate. It's like I know we had this conversation a while back, and it's just like I feel like it shouldn't be done in high school sports. College, I'm okay. Pros definitely don't have a problem until somebody ratchets themselves up bad and they take somebody out on a backboard. I'm okay with it.
Yeah,
It's
and that's
kind
the
of
thing, right? Like we don't. Sure, it's a grueling play. Like no
mhm.
300-pound man likes to dive at somebody's. It tries to dive as low as they possibly can, right? I mean, no human wants to do that. But you don't see many injuries from it, if any. I don't know if there's actually been any injuries that you can point at and say that was because of the tush push.
Mhm.
And then on top of that, you got guys like Jason Kelsey, who, you know, he has no I mean, sure, he's out of the, he's a career Eagle for for the most part, right? I mean, he's a legend there. He's got ties there, 2-time champion there, or 1-time champion. I guess he wasn't there for the second one, but it's so of course he's going to come out and support the Eagles, but in reality, if he doesn't really have any reason to, he's on TV right now. If he wanted to, if he hated doing the play, which he has said in the past, he didn't like running it, but it was an effective play. It didn't, it didn't hurt anybody. And he's advocating for the play. Like, he could very easily come out and be like, look, I'm retired now. I'm not an Eagle, so them scoring points really doesn't mean too much to me nowadays. The play, we ran it all the time. No one ran the play more than Jason Kelsey, right? No one.
Yeah.
There's not anyone on planet Earth other than, and I would even say the guy from this year, because you got to think, there's no one on earth that's ran that play more than Jason Kelsey. And for him to come out and be like, look, like if I think Jason Kelsey is the kind of guy that if he thought that like people were at risk in this play and like this was actually a dangerous play, he would be the kind of guy that was like, look, we had our fun with it. We dominated with it. We were able to use it for years. We got, now it's time to move on, type of thing. And, but he is so for it that I think that speaks volumes.
Yeah. Two things. I'll pull the CF. So remember, CFL. By the way, Nick, the CFL season starts in 2 weeks. It's fucking
Oh,
crazy.
baby.
But because of three downs, quarterback sneaks. You get second or third in inches. Quarterback sneaks are happening all the time. Like probably eight, like anywhere from 5 to 8 to 10 times a game. So it's kind of. I know it's not the tush push, but saying that it doesn't happen, it's the having somebody driving the quarterback. But these it's still happening. It's just in your 4 down game, it doesn't happen as often. So, and two, yeah, Kelsey has a platform that if he wanted to and be like, fuck it, hurt my neck and my shoulders, and I have to live with this for the rest of my life because, I've got a degenerative shoulder because we kept doing this all the time. He didn't. So, learn to fucking submarine better, lineman. That's the only way. The only way you're stopping is if your defensive lineman can time that snap right and submarine before the offensive linemen get lower. So figure out how to do that because that's how. And then your linebackers scrape over the top.
Yeah, I
It
mean
is
look,
stoppable.
I mean it's not a fun play for anybody to run, right? I mean,
Oh
it's not a
no.
play. It's not a fun play for the offense to run for the most part, unless you're Jalen Hurts, and it's not a fun play for anybody on defense, right? I mean, we saw, was it the Packers in that game, right? That jumped 3 fucking times in a row. It was almost embarrassing, right? How many times that guy jumped over the fucking pile and mistimed it. And I believe that, it got down to the point where like they were talking about rules I'd never even fucking heard. They were like, if they're on the 1 yard line or half-yard line and they keep jumping, they can eventually just award the touchdown, which I'd never even heard. Right? They were like, they'll just give him the touchdown. This guy keeps jumping. I'm like, God damn. So yeah, I mean, yeah, I think that speaks volume. So and like I said, the fact that they're talking to Chief Medical Officer Alan Sills, it seems that they've actually gone out and tried to find some science behind this. Like they're not walking into this just going, look, we're good at this play, don't ban it. Like you can tell they're trying to find the. Go ahead. You look like you were about to say something.
Find the sweet spot, and then and kind of adding to that too that these guys don't want $20 million offensive linemen getting ratcheted up. Like they're trying to think about their bottom line too. It's like, like what are we gonna like? Is there a safer way to do that? Like, they're
What's
not
up,
stupid
OG?
either.
Yeah, I mean, for sure. I mean, because that's the thing, right? Because like obviously, no team's gonna go well. Uh, how? Oh yeah. By the way, I said which we can't say it on YouTube, but I said I posted a link earlier, and I said that make sure to join us at 7 because me and Dale are going to see how much raw ethanol we can do in an hour. And they said, damn, they go, you guys should just smoke crack or something and just clean your houses. I said, no, that's not good enough. One of us dies tonight. So,
One of us
and
is going
obviously that didn't
down.
help because we've only got 9 viewers. So obviously me putting our lives at stake didn't matter to these people. So,
Sick people.
good to see you though, big dog. But yeah, like I was saying, no team's going to go, all right, we love this play so much and it fucks our offensive lineup. So I know we're going to run it at the cost of our first string line is going to be, we're going to run through this line in 6 weeks and we're going to have backups out there, but we're not going to quit running this play because it's so effective, right? Like they're not going to just go like clearly if there was the trade-off was, we're fucking gonna run this play, but we're gonna lose it. We know people are gonna get hurt doing this. They're gonna keep Kelsey and the boys and or whoever their offensive line and the Browns. Like they're not gonna run the play at the cost of Joel Bitonio, Wyatt Teller. I mean, they're not gonna do that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's just I don't know. So I think that, again, all that stuff speaks volume. So it says that where was I at here? Alan Sills. So this is Eagles assistant general manager John Ferrari and Jason Kelsey. Here we go. Star Center Jason Kelsey, currently an ESPN analyst, addressed the room next. So they were there. They were there, addressing the room. Kelsey said that he would return to the NFL if he could run 60 tush pushes a game. There you go. Didn't even hear that before. Kelsey said he would return. Let me say that again. Jason Kelsey said that he would return to the NFL if he could run 60 tush pushes a game.
Damn.
Why didn't the Texans vote correctly? Sounds like you are one of the teams that voted for the tush push ban, I guess.
We are horrible people.
You fucking pussies, dude. D'Amico Ryans, though, I feel like D'Amico Ryans, I actually think I heard him say last year he was against it, but he seems like the kind of guy that wouldn't be against it. I don't know. Former
Yeah,
Eagle,
you would
too, by
think
the
he'd
way.
be so like not I wanted to say hard, but like old school. It's like, well, that's like football. Learn to stop it.
Yeah, and I'm now that I'm thinking more, I think the guy that said, what are we going to ban Lamar from running? I think that was what the fuck's the guy's name? Coach for the Brown, or he was the coach for the Titans, Mike Vrabel.
Oh, Mike Vrabel. Okay, yeah.
All right, Dallas Cowboy owner Jerry Jones asked a few questions while Buffalo Bills owner Terry Pegula, a critic of the tush push, said his team was good at the play and still supported banning it. No, you're not. An hour had passed when San Francisco owner Jed York asked Larry how much more shit he needed to say.
Not well liked.
But look, fuck Jeffrey. I don't think Jeffrey Lurie or Howie Roseman give a fuck, right? They're the two best in the league. I mean, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna tell the Eagles, right? There were a few scattered laughs, but the room was quiet and tense. Goodell then adjourned to the privileged session, which is attended by owners and top league executives. The ban failed by a vote of 22-10, falling 2 votes shy of the 24 needed. I'm glad the Browns are on board. Yes, sir. You know it, baby. That's what I said earlier, dude. Like, let's go. Bottom feeder team, and they still said, let them do it. They're good at it. I mean, where are we going to punish these guys? Yeah, I loved it. And I'm not going to lie. I was all day. I was playoff made a post earlier saying, about it earlier, and I had said that I thought that for sure this was getting banned today. I was like, the fact that this is even like a story again, and that there's like this late push for it, I'm like, it just kind of seems like that's the way the tide is turning. It seems like Roger Goodell wants it out. It just kind of seems like that's the way we're heading. And I'm like, if they're pushing this, and then of course I saw Diana's tweet this morning, which I should have then immediately said, no way it passes because this idiot is up here saying, 100% it's going to pass. But I was like, dude, it just feels like that. And playoff was like, no, I don't think so, man. I think it's going to fall short. And sure as shit, it falls short. So very shocked by the 22-10, two teams that didn't. And for it to come out too, by the way, just to I don't know if it's going to get to that in this. I don't know if it's going to get to that in this report, but the Bills were the only team in their division to vote for it. All the other Patriots, Dolphins, and who's the other one?
Patriots, Jets.
Jets. All three of them voted to keep the tush push. So fuck the Bills. All right. Multiple league sources told Jeremy Fowler that the Eagles officials walked out of the room not knowing what to expect and figured voting could go either way. The Eagles set out Wednesday to address the notion that the tush push led to injury, with one source telling Fowler there was no data to suggest the play was unsafe. One of Kelsey's talking points was to dispel the rumor that he retired because of the tush push, sources told Jeremy Fowler. Pittsburgh Steelers, who voted to ban the tush push, who actually was getting flack from Steeler fans today because they were like, well, I thought we were supposed to be this big, hard iron hitting team, bad boy team, and we voted to get rid of it. Art Rooney says Kelsey's perspective was that the tush push is a safe play, not something we need to worry about that much. Rooney also said Jason Kelce may have swayed teams that were undecided on their vote, adding that more teams could embrace the tush push during their offseason practices now that the play is not going away, which is something that maybe teams shouldn't have waited for this moment to do, right? Maybe you should have been drilling this play. You guys should be trying to get, because here's the thing, like, maybe the Eagles have found a play that they're the only goddamn team in the world that can run it. They have found a collection of 40 guys that they're the only 40 guys on planet Earth that can run this play. Jason Kelce was one of them. He fucking, I don't know. He just injected his power. They hooked him up, they gave his power to somebody else somehow. So now there's 41 people on this planet that can run the play. Nobody outside of the Philadelphia Eagles are humanly, they just can't do it. No, motherfuckers, you guys are just more concerned about getting the play out of here and bitching about the play than trying to get good at the play and trying to scheme the play or trying to stop the play. Everyone just wanted to kick and scream about it instead of just accepting that it was here. Now, again, I think that the it's long. No, I don't think that with this 5 years from now, no way the tush pushes around. No way.
Agree.
But for the short, for the time being, though, I think it'll be here for another year or two. Like, I think this year may have bought it another year or two, but that's probably it.
I think you're right. Like, unless somebody gets ratcheted up real bad, we're gonna have this argument for another couple off seasons till it finally gets banned.
Yeah, because eventually, as we know, the game NFL gets what the NFL wants, right? I mean, it might not happen today or tomorrow, but it will happen, and even if it's one of those things where it gets unbanned in a few years, right? I mean, we've seen times in the NFL. I mean, there was a time in the NFL. I said this today in the collab lab because there's one of our good friends from the show, Dirk. He's from Milwaukee, big Milwaukee guy. I asked him today. He didn't give me an answer. I said, "What hurts worse, losing this bet or losing this tush push vote, or losing Giannis?" And I didn't get an answer. Because I thought that was a pretty valid question. I'm like, what hurts worse, right? But he was like kind of upset because he's like, damn, I think he knows that the Packers were kind of soft for doing it, but he obviously was at that point like, let's roll with it. But yeah, I think that I do think that eventually this play will be thrown out of the league, but we'll see. But anyway, let's keep reading here. Says perspective on Jason Kelce's impact on the voting varied. However, as one source told ESPN's Brooke Pride that the former Eagles center speech was generic, is what they called it.
Ooh.
Others described it as spirited conversation sparked by Kelce. When Jerry Jones, when Jera pointed out potential issues with the play. Kelsey said he understood where the Cowboys owner was coming from and agreed on some of the points. Multiple sources noted to Pryor that it was refreshing to hear about a rule and its impact from a player's perspective, and it could lead to more players weighing in on a significant potential rule changes. Well, duh, right? I mean, I think that probably, if anything today, that would probably be another thing that we should just go ahead and implement. Maybe we should talk to the people playing the fucking game. But, maybe not. What do we know? Any play that's out of the ordinary gets extra scrutiny because of the competition, Jerry Jones says. That's the fun of having these meetings. And here we are. The world champion is the main focus of the Tushy push. And here we are debating it, having to decide, am I really against the Tush push, or do I just want Philadelphia to not have an edge? And I sit here and fight that too. So he's admitting, look, I'm kind of here because I don't like to play. I'm mostly here because the fucking Eagles doing this shit, dude. I'm here because I'm tired. One, we haven't won dick in 25 years. And two, the team that I want to stop doing dick is running a play that nobody can stop.
Yep. The one question I was going to ask was, so remember when Tom Brady with like his gazelle-like speed would like quarterback sneak in for the touchdown? It's almost the same thing. Like, obviously, he's not getting pushed from behind. I understand that. But you couldn't stop Tom Brady from doing a fucking quarterback sneak? Just get low and stop it. That's what you have to do.
Quit being pussies, dude, and just practice the play.
Exactly. Just practice submarining. The end. Defensive coach, done talking.
And to top off this little report here, and I think this right here is a good way to end this report too. I think this speaks volumes. More things that speak volumes. This is Jerry Jones acknowledged to Jeremy Fowler that he tends to flip-flop on the issue, but added that after watching film with Jason Kelsey, he admits that the Eagles' offensive line prowess is impressive.
Yeah. There's a reason why other teams aren't doing it as good as them.
And that's what I said today in the thing. I said, look, the way I look at the tush push, whether you like it or not, the facts are 31 other teams are allowed to do this. They're allowed to run this play. Just like the Eagles. They are allowed to do everything the Eagles are doing, and they are upset that they can't run it the same way at the same clip that the Eagles can. Their success rate is not nearly as high. They can't seem to get it right, and then they can't stop it on the other end. So what do they do? They pout and they want to throw it out of the game. I mean, that's all this is. Like, there is no advantage here for the Eagles. There's no advantage for anybody here. All 32 teams can go into practice, run this play, go into a game, get to the 1 yard line, and run this play. You can do it, and we've seen teams try it, and they just can't fucking recreate it. And that is nobody's fault but the Eagles, the other 31 teams that can't do it, right? So that's my outlook on it. It's basically a bunch. It's 31 teams. Well, not 30. It's however many teams. It's 10 teams that are going, basically, look, we can't stop it, we can't run it, so we just want to get rid of it. So shout out to the 22 teams that voted to keep that today, because like I said, I think that's it speaks a lot about your team, and I think that it says a lot that, again, it's a just get better at it, like you said. We're just talking in circles, but get better.
Get better.
Get fucking better. All right. Let's get away from football. Football is not even important right now. Let's get to the NBA. NBA, National Basketball League. I made the picture for this episode on my lunch break when they were still going, we're going to find out who the MVP of the NFL and the NBA is right before tip-off tonight. And by the time my fucking lunch break ended and I'm working within an hour, we knew who the MVP was. So not a big surprise. Or we're not as surprised as we were. I was hoping we were going to find out live on the show tonight before the game kicked off, which didn't happen, which is okay. Big discussion this year, as there always is, right? I mean, this is always one of the biggest talks of the year, as it is in every sport, right? The MVP, who should win it? A lot, sometimes you get a guy that definitely should win it. Like, was it Aaron Judge won last year in
Mhm.
MLB, right? There's always times where there's times where guys win it, and you're like, all right, right? There's no second place guy, but most of the time, especially in the NBA, there is a lot of discussion, right? There's usually two guys. Nikola Jokic has pretty much ran this whole um, category the last few years, right? He's won three, not three in a row because they did give Joel Embiid again during one of these big heated things. Joel Embiid got one, where everyone was thinking it felt at the time, right, that it was kind of a here shut the fuck up award, right? It was kind of like a kind of which kind of what people are saying this year. I'm not one of them, but I do. There was a lot of people out there going, well, the only reason Jokic didn't get it again this year is because they don't want to give him four, right? It puts him in a category basically of his own or a few other people. You're elite of elite. You're basically first. He's already first ballot, but he's Hall of Fame immediately the moment he gets four MVPs, 4 in 5 years. It would be insane. So, but Embiid was one of those where Jokic was having another Jokic season, what we're coming to expect from him, and then Embiid was having a great season himself, and it was one of those. Well, when is Embiid going to get the award? Right? When is he going to get his MVP? And then he got his MVP, and then Jokic has won two since. Right? He won the next two. And this year, the conversation, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, SGA. A lot of you either love him or hate him. There is no in between on this. I've actually seen a lot of people. I saw a tweet today that said, "Man, you can't deny you can't deny the Thunder. They've done it right. They've done it organically. They've everything. They've done it 100% right. But I just find it so hard to root for this team." And I think that's just because
Hmm.
I think the young guys and their attitude, that towards the game, and it's not even that's a bad attitude, but like their new approach, right, where they're doing the joint interviews at the end, they're really hyping each other up. It's like they're acting like kids playing a game, right? And
Yeah, yeah.
I think that it rubbed people the wrong way, right? I think people, there's that crowd of, well, show some professionalism, act like you've been here, that whole fucking as if
Oh,
they're not being paid millions of dollars to play a child's game. But Shai Gilgeous, right? On top of that, foul merchant, you're hearing that being thrown around a lot last night. Game one of the Eastern or Western Conference Finals last night. They blow out Denver. In the middle of that, there was a couple of questionable calls, right? The SGA pictures were all over Twitter today of him not even getting touched, but he's making the face, right? He's already throwing up the foul face, and he's getting the calls. But what's her name last night? Doris Burke, who I love. A lot of people don't like old Doris. Hello,
mhm.
hi guys, Doris here. If you guys play NBA, that's what that you're used to old Doris Burke. I love her. I think she's great. But last night she says, while he's at the line, she says something along the lines of like, that this is why people are calling him a foul merchant. So it basically seems like she was calling him a foul merchant. Um, and this is talk for a lot of guys nowadays, right? There's a lot of guys in the league nowadays. Jalen Brunson, who is another guy who's in the Eastern Conference Finals, right? He's the East's Shai Gilgeous. This guy,
Yep.
the guy that he would never be that guy if he didn't get the calls. And we've had this now for a couple years. James Harden, I would say, is probably the OG of that.
Hmm. Yes.
Um, he started this, the kicking the legs out, flopping shit, back in the we had this conversation. And then once they got to the league, the way it's changed though, I would say, is that these guys are kind of getting the whistle in the playoffs nowadays. Maybe old James would have a ring if they kept calling those calls for him in the playoffs, but that didn't happen for him. We got to the playoffs and they said, "All right, James, enough kicking your guy, enough making the shape of an L with your body when you shoot a 3-pointer." It's hard. It's hard. It's impossible not to touch you when you're swinging your goddamn feet out in front of you.
Yep.
But nowadays, Shai Gilgeous, Jalen Brunson, they're getting the calls. Um, I read a stat today though, that really again, I'm not one of those guys. I like Shy loves Shy Gilgeous. OKC's my second team. I love Paul George. If you take away, it's debatable. I mean, the Brooklyn Nets Celtics trade and then this trade, they are just fighting to be the worst trade in NBA history. Um, all they gave up was Paul George, and they've basically got the future, right? I mean, Sam Presti is a god. Um, but I think that where the fuck was I just going with this? Sorry, I keep reading something and it throws me off. I'm reading tweets at the same time and it threw me off. But you know, it's one of they're getting these calls now, and I think that it's the stat I was going to say. So the stat I was going to say is if you look at true field goal percent or free throw percentage, like per whatever minutes, he's like outside the top 30.
Okay.
Shai Gilgeous. So it's like, this guy, sure, he seems like he goes to the foul, but he's getting fouled. Like, sometimes he's not getting fouled, and Jalen Brunson, they'll do their little thing. But for the most part, this guy's getting fouled, and people just don't like it, right? People don't like these guys to get a lot of fouls. I think he shot like 11 free throws last night. So yeah, heated discussion this year. I mean, and of course Nikola Jokic was the other guy in the discussion this year, and he doesn't get it. So today they announced. I mean, I don't know what I'm even still talking for. I'm just talking in circles. But yeah, Shai Gilgeous wins it today. He wins his number one, his first. I got to fix this. That's gonna piss me off. Shai Gilgeous wins his first, and deservedly so. I think if I had a vote, I would have voted for Shai Gilgeous. I think he earned it. How do you feel about this? Since I've been just yapping for 5 minutes, what do you feel about this? How do you feel about Shai Gilgeous, and what do you feel? And I know he's Canadian, so you're probably a little biased. But how do you view him, and do you think who would you have voted for this year?
We call that, especially with like a baseball player that plays for the Jays that is Canadian, you say it's a maple boner. So he would be a maple boner for the
The
basketball
Maple
world.
Boner. There you
The
go.
maple boner, yeah. I would have voted him. It's interesting because you could make the argument that Jokic doesn't get as many calls because of how big he is, and he has to, in theory, absorb more contact to get the foul call, where the opposite is true to SGA. I still think SGA deserved it, and I assume they voted on this before they played their series. I assume this was voted on at the end of the regular season, so it's kind of a moot point, but also beating Denver in 7 and
Yeah, it's also like, damn, he just eliminated him in 7.
yeah, exactly. It's kind of like it shouldn't be based on that, but that's kind of like
They should announce this before the playoffs. I feel like.
totally agree. Like do it
Like
in the
why? Like
first.
why can't we just host this right after Game 82? Why don't we vote on this
Yeah, exactly.
and
So
then announce it like at the kickoff of at the first playoff game? We announce it
yeah, exactly. Like just do or you do like the big 4 over 4. Yeah, exactly. I'm
because I'm
totally
with you.
agree.
Because obviously the conspiracy theorists are going, I fucking told you.
Yeah. So I think SGA deserved it. I think he was a little better than Jokic. The foul thing is definitely interesting because I think you made me think about that. That big guys have to deal with more because there's more contact down in there, and I don't know. I think um, there was a point in time where the Wolves looked pretty good last night, and then
Dude. Yeah. That then they just didn't.
so this is like that series. This might be a weird way to think about it. Teams are going to go on 8-0 runs. That's inevitable in nowadays NBA with the way guys shoot threes. The Timberwolves just can't let them go on a 15-2 run. Like
No,
they
it got
have
ugly. Like it literally just like yeah. I mean yeah, it was one run. Put that to bed.
because they were up by like 6 at the end of the first quarter, and it was tight at the half. It kind of made me think, like maybe they can make this a series, and then they just blew the doors off of them. And Minnesota's a big problem, of course. They play defense. They're really good at defense. They fucking can't score the rock. And a team that goes on a 14-0 run, obviously, it's tough
Who can
for
do
any team.
both, right? I mean, a team that is stingy as fuck on defense, and then can turn around and like before you know it, they're on a 15-2 run, right? I mean, it's incredible because that's another thing about Shai Gilgeous and the boys. I mean, that is a defensive team. I mean, they are great. But to your point, like you said, they outscored OKC in both of the first quarters. So 23-20 in the first, 25-24. So not by much, not big, not blowing them out by any means, but leading them at half, right? Leading them, they won both quarters. And then the third quarter, OKC wins. They outscore them 32-18.
Yep.
And then in the fourth, 38-22.
Yeah.
Just a boat race.
Yeah, it just feels like a pace series. The uglier the game, advantage Timberwolves. The higher tempo game, advantage Thunder. But the difference is that if they play a game in the low to mid 90s, Thunder can win that game too. Where if they're playing a game in the 115s to 120s,
that's OKC all day.
It's okay. Like you're got to be playing 20 of those games, and the T Pups might win one of them.
Right. I mean, look at this box score. Even like if you take a look at the box score, like two guys on this entire team were in double digits. Two. Julius Randle had 28. Anthony Edwards had 18. No one had over 9. Dante DiVincenzo had 9. Alexander Walker had 8. Jaden McDaniels 7. Rudy Gobert 2. Bum. Absolute bum. He's doing his best. I mean, he only played 21 minutes, but he's doing his absolute best Jared Allen impression. 2 points, 3 rebounds.
Jeez. And he's there for defense and rebounds.
You are 7-5 or whatever.
Yeah, he just needs to get a couple. You're hoping to get 8 and 12 out of him with elite
if
defense.
he can't get 10 rebounds a game, you're out of your fucking mind. Like that's stupid. Mike Conley 7. Somehow the only guy on the entire squad that was +5. Everybody else was negative. But I mean, you're not gonna beat anybody, especially the OKC Thunder, with two guys in double digits. And I mean that 28. What is that? 46 points from two guys. 28 plus 18.
Before the series, I would have said Thunder in 5 or 6, and I don't really.
No, I said Thunder in 5. That's what I said. There's no way.
I feel that the Timberwolves win a game at home.
Yeah, give them a game at home, and that's it. But this is ugly. I mean, you get down here, and like I said, you compare that to the Thunder, and you've got everybody but one guy. Everybody but Dort was in double digits in the starting lineup. You had Chet had 15 and 7, Jalen Williams 19 and 8 and 5, Isaiah Hartenstein 12 and 5, Shai 31 and 9, and then Lou 5 points. And then Kendrick Williams had 9 or 8 or 9. Caruso had an 8 or 9. But yeah, I mean, you look at that, and when you got a entire starting 5 in double digits, and everyone's basically got 12 or more, I mean, it's hard to beat, right? And then you got a guy like Shai Gilgeous who's spearheading it, who's just, I mean, 31 and 9 is nothing to scoff at, and it just, yeah, I mean, they're a hard team to beat. And like you said, if you're up into the 114s, 115 area, the Timberwolves are fucked.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean that's MVP material though. I mean, I know we're kind of before we move on from the Shai thing, I do want to say 32.7 points per game, 6.5 assists, 5 rebounds. That was what his MVP numbers, and he is the first Kentucky Wildcat to ever win MVP, NBA MVP.
Wow, really?
Isn't that crazy?
That is a crazy little stat. That might be better than your Pirate stat you give me today.
You think? You think that's better than the Pirate stat?
Ooh,
26 games in a row with 4 runs or less is ass, dude. That's fucking crazy. I think you said something like I think I've drifted into my nap, but I do believe, I remember you saying that, like, yeah, even bad teams run into bad pitching, right?
Yeah, like in a month, the Chicago White Sox are going to catch a pitcher that blows up or a bullpen that blows up. Like, that
26 straight games?
Catastrophically bad. No wonder Paul Skeens is pissed off.
Dude, that stat, well, that stat is just about as crazy as the other two. The stat about him like having, I don't know if it was this year or it was in his career because it was so short, because both of them kind of made sense, but I think it was like 7 or 8 times they've lost games with him pitching, and they've lost 1-0 games with him pitching or something
I
because they
just
just
heard some.
no run support, zero.
I heard something ridiculous on before you hopped on Big Inning that Texas has scored 2 runs or less in 20 of their games so far this season.
So they're well on their way, just not in a
But
row.
they're somehow actually playing like they're at least flirting with the division where the Pirates are like a bottom three. It's like Rockies, White Sox, Pirates. By the way, Nelson went and let me know. So the director of scouting for the Colorado Rockies is the Rockies GM's or owners party, the Rockies owner's son.
Okay, say that again.
The the uh, the director of player development for the Rockies is the Rockies owner's son. Yep, Daddy's son is running the development for the Colorado
Wow.
Rockies, and they are 8-42 or 7-41 or whatever the fuck they are, and on pace to
Sorry, I
lose.
didn't mean to bring that up either. I was meant to have this up. Yeah, that's
Oh, it's all good.
wild. That's fucking crazy.
I know it's great. When I heard that, I just laughed my ass off.
New York, we do have a game going on tonight too, by the way. Knicks Pacers, which God, that just hurts my soul to even watch that series. But New York's up 69-62 at half.
Who do you like in that series?
I like Indy.
Don't you like? I was gonna say Indian 7 is kind of what I feel. I was hoping you didn't say a meter to hit the center floor of Madison Square Gardens because that probably I think is probably what you would prefer.
Yeah, I mean, and look, dude, I've been a I've said I've always liked Halliburton. You know, I mean, obviously this season he's kind of got annoying, but yeah, overall I like him. I think he's a great player. I'd rather them than the Knicks. Like I like that the Knicks. I always say like things like sports are better when the Knicks or like Toronto or Canadian teams are doing well in hockey or
Mm-hmm.
the Knicks are good in basketball. You know, stuff like that. And I like that they're in there, but I don't need to see them win. So
Agreed.
I definitely like the Pacers in 7. I think the Pacers are just playing unbelievable basketball.
Yeah,
But
Knicks
Knicks
are
look
up by
good so
six.
far. Like I said,
Yeah,
6-9,
Knicks are up
six
by
two at the half. Karl Anthony Towns is playing out of his fucking mind. So shout out to him. So that's the game going on right now. And then we've obviously got NHL playoffs going on as well. Last night we had the Hurricanes and Panthers game 1. Panthers just kicked the shit out of them. Panthers. I told my dad last night. I think Panthers in 5. That was what I said last night. I don't think the Hurricanes. They're good. Don't get me wrong. Hurricanes are good. I don't think they can fuck with the Panthers, and I think the Panthers set 7-game series. Like I think if Toronto was the team that was going to beat them, I think that was it. And I don't think that anybody maybe until the finals can beat them.
Do you think that this is one of those Carolina needs to have this series to be good 1-2 years down the road? Like
As in, if they lose this series, things are going to start falling apart.
no, that they need to lose this series to really learn. Okay, we can get to the second, but now this is what we need to win the third round and get this down.
Maybe
Like,
but haven't they been knocking on this door late last couple of years? Is it the first round they're losing then?
yeah, they're because they're just like this
Because they've been in
crazy
there with
fast.
Brindamore for a minute now.
Yeah. Oh, Rob Brendamore is a
Rob Brindamore still dresses like a 1995 attorney, where he wears the button up white shirts that are like way too big with the poofs.
yeah, yeah.
Like he
Good
doesn't
point.
wear fitted shirts. Like when he takes off his jacket, he's still got the fat air bubble in the back.
And it's like the plaid.
Yeah, and he
Suit.
just
Yeah.
rips it all to the like he wants it to look good in the front, so he just pulls it all to the back and tucks it in, and then when he
Yeah.
takes it out, you just see huge. I'm always like, God damn, Rob Brindamore, you straight up look like you're like on season 2 of Law and Order SVU.
Yeah, I think I really wanted Carolina to win this series, but I really like you had Florida. They just played Game 7. Obviously, they didn't have to like exude, but they had this like play Game 7, have a fun. Toronto to Raleigh won't be a fun flight.
I think it's kind of skeet they had the first series.
The Oilers and Stars had all the time off
Like,
in
why
the
aren't they
world.
playing tonight?
I also see the schedule that like game 3 or 4 in Dallas is a fucking afternoon game on Sunday.
Yeah, that's so dumb. Like, look, when we get same thing with the OKC game, the Denver game 7. Like, that game
Why?
started. It can't. I think it was like Denver time. It was like 12:30.
Yeah.
12:30 in the afternoon. You're playing game 7. You played all year long to play a fucking noon game. That pisses me. That would piss me off so bad. And yeah, same thing. Like, you're telling me these guys Sunday night are playing in a game 7 that I mean, obviously it was, a beat down, but like, I mean, and then they turn around, they have to play the first game on Tuesday. It just doesn't make any sense. I thought that the other one should be here. But yeah, the Panthers look scary. And honestly, I've said this. I'm rooting for the Oilers. Like, I think I'd like to see the Oilers win it, but I've always said, and I've said this to you 100 times, if Brad Marchand wasn't a fucking Boston Bruin, I would love him. And I think that I love the ratness. I love everything about him, but I could never root for him because he's in Boston. And I am finding it so easy to root for Brad Marchand right now. And now that he's finally in somewhere that I can, a team I don't hate, right? A team I don't hate at all. I have nothing against the Florida Panthers, and he is like still being the same guy and like kind of even bigger. It's like kind of he's kind of pushed back into the spotlight, right? Like everyone knew Brad Marchand was a rat, so when he did stuff, it didn't really. But now it's like the same rat, different side of the country, right? Everybody kind of again another guy that kind of got turned into the same thing with Shador we talked about during the draft, a guy that maybe people didn't think highly of or had their issues with, but through the way that things played out, kind of got turned into a sympathetic figure, right? I mean, Brad Marchand kind of booted out of Boston out of nowhere after all that time, just kind of given away
Yeah, for next to nothing.
next to nothing. And like, I think people were like, yeah, that fuck that guy, but still, that's kind of brutal, right? Like that's and not only that, they're not giving him. They didn't send him. I mean, they could have sent him somewhere else, but like now you're telling me you're sending him to a squad that he can turn around and just fuck you immediately
And
with
in division rival.
the
He's
division
going.
rival.
Yeah.
Now Boston's sitting at home on their dicks while he's up 1-0 in the Eastern Conference Finals. So
And Paul Maurice, the coach for the Panthers, like one of the most. I know our audience is not big hockey fans. I would say generally, go out of your way to listen to Paul Maurice's press conferences. He gives thoughtful, very honest answers. Like he will not give you the I'm going to spin this the other way. He's not going to give you a Connor McDavid fucking generic I'm angry at the world sports answer.
right,
Like he will sit there and give a 3
he's
minute
gonna
answer
answer
on
your question.
like there was a one last week where they were asking like why he loves this team so much, and he talks about like these players and like the first time he phoned the first guy, he's like, oh, you're gonna love this guy, you're gonna love, and he's very refreshing, and it's like you could when you see him pause before he answers any question, he's putting thought into it.
Like he's
He's not just
actually cooking up an answer for you.
yeah, he's not just like, like why
We need
did
to
you
play
go and
harder. We need to do this. We did
yeah.
that.
He's just like, yeah, we have to he's very thoughtful, and I very much appreciate him. And it was really awesome to see him win a Stanley Cup last year.
Yeah, what he was like, now I get to tell my dad or whatever. Like that was me. Like
Oh,
I did. Like,
I,
dude, yeah, his
I'm not
fucking
gonna.
speech was
I don't want to cry. I don't want to cry on street, but like I had tears in my eyes when he said. It's just like you could just see it was relief. Especially they blew a 3-0 lead,
because
and
how many he had fucked up many times, right?
well, because
Like,
he was with the Jets for a lot of years and
and
didn't
people were
do
like,
it.
I felt like a failure. I felt like a loser,
I want
basically.
to. I want to say he took one of the Carolina teams to the Stanley Cup final. Like, yeah,
Just
he,
never could get through. And yeah, him
yeah,
getting through was sick. And yeah, I mean, that's a guy you want to root for. And I hope he can get it done. Like if the Oilers don't win it, I hope they can repeat. I really like and obviously the Kachuk's there.
like, can we? I know that we're way, and it's 1-1 Oilers and Stars
Yeah,
just
I
for
was gonna
everybody.
get to that.
But could we please get Oilers Panthers again?
That'd be sick, dude. That'd be
Oh,
fucking sick.
that would be a fun series.
You know what
So
kind of
it's
turned me on to the Panthers when they got Yager at the end?
okay, yeah. Fucking Yager. What a gem he was.
Dude, Yamir Yager's the GOAT, dude. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. Well, I mean, what a guy. Just knocking down broad and scoring goals. He's 40-something years old. Doesn't give a fuck.
I'm sure you heard the Yager story, but like he went and like nailed some supermodel, and then she was like, "Well, I'm gonna put it on Instagram," and like was like trying to like play it. He's like, "Go ahead," and like everybody's like, "That a boy
Yeah,
Yager, that's
that
our
picture is
boy."
legendary, dude.
Exactly, and he's just like, it
Like, I don't
totally
give a fuck,
backfired on her.
dude.
It's like fucking Yager, that a boy, you fucking still got
Dude,
it.
you silver fox.
The only thing that would make it better is if you had the fucking mullet on from Pittsburgh while you did it.
And we talk about a guy that, I mean, I don't know how you play hockey that long. That's fucking him and Ilya Kovalchuk, dude. Just two guys that are fucking going to play. Yeah, I think Ilya Kovalchuk's still playing.
Yeah, he plays for one of the Russian teams, I'm assuming. And
Yeah.
like Yager owns like a second or third tier team in the Czech Republic, and just like goes out there and plays every now and then. Just
Well,
for fun.
Ilya Kovalchuk would just come to the league and then go back for a. He would come play for the NHL and then he'd go take the God offer from Russia. It's like,
Yeah,
all right, Ilya, get fucked.
Ilya Kovalchuk might be the last
Atlanta
Atlanta Thrasher
Thrasher.
that's still playing.
Yeah. Yeah, no shit. But yeah, like you said, 1-1 in this game. So this is tonight's game, Oilers Stars. Halfway through, about 5 minutes into the second period. Who scored? Leon Draisaitl.
Mm-hmm.
Hell yeah. Who scored for Tyler Seguin? So Seguin, Draisaitl. This is gonna be a good series. The only team I don't want to like, honestly, I'm okay with 3 of the 4 teams winning. Dallas is the only team I can't see. I just don't want to. I don't want them to win. I'd be okay with the Oilers. I'd be okay with Florida, and I'd be okay with Brenda Moore in Carolina. So
It's just that series. That series right there reminds me of my childhood when the Stars and Oilers played in like 7 of 8 playoff years in the first round. Oh, Edmonton just scored it. It looks like.
let's go.
Look at the update. Good job, Espen, for the update.
Who was it?
How many?
Ryan Nugent Hopkins unassisted power
The
play.
Nuge.
The Nuge and Draisaitl assisted by McDavid, of course.
Of course.
15 assists in the playoffs for McDavid.
So you're like me, like thinking Edmonton in 6, maybe 7, but probably 6.
Yeah, I would say 6 or 7. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, Dallas is not. Dallas ain't gonna roll over in this series.
No. And I mean, if they win the series, I wouldn't be shocked either.
No,
So
no. I bet you like the series price was probably like whoever was favorite was like minus 120, and the dog was like probably even money. So
well, hell yeah. Well, I'm definitely going to throw this game on when we get off here. A quick update on the bets, real quick, since we haven't really even talked about them. We had 4 today. Started off early with an L. Didn't even get the graphic made. I got there. We were 0-1. I was like, God damn it.
Pirates.
So fuck the Cincinnati Reds that lost today. They lost to the Pirates, who didn't score 4 runs again today, but won. So 3-1. Cincinnati, who has been super hot lately, finally falls. We got Edmonton. We just talked about Edmonton. We got them. They're up 2. Actually, let me redo this. They're up 2-1. So that's look good. We do got the Pacers. We took the Pacers. They are down 7 right now to the Knicks. Looks like the third quarter just started, so that'll be a good game. I definitely think that'll come down to the wire. And then we got Texas. We got Texas taking on the Yankees. Looks like Texas up 3-2, top of the 8th. So we got 2 green, 1 red loss for sure, and then Indiana can go either way. So we could end up in a 3-1. I do like this. I think we're gonna finish 3-1 today. That's how I'm feeling.
I love it. Guess
Yeah,
what?
I just
Tomorrow
What was that?
What?
Oh, my ball sack just said 3-1.
Oh, nice. Good job, Ballsack. Guess
Yeah,
what tomorrow
so
is
we're
for
definitely
the
going.
Yankees
We're going
and
3-1.
Texas.
I heard a whisper and I heard somebody going, "Hey, 3-1." It was my ball sack. So yeah, so 3-1. Love to see it. Yeah, I like this. Fuck the Yankees and the Pacers Knicks. I do 7. That's going 7. I think that's going 7. That's the best series. OKC and Minnesota is just not. OKC is my favorite, obviously the favorite team in there. That's not very competitive in my opinion. But
of the 4 playoff series that are left in the NBA and the NHL, that is the most intriguing one because that
Yeah.
one legitimately of all of them feels like the series that can go
I
7.
still can't believe Detroit didn't beat the Knicks. I really thought that was going to happen.
Yeah, I had the Detroit at like 3-1 to win that series too, and it's like fuck.
But hey, we're last 30, boys. We were on a all-time cold streak, and we are now 46-35. The last 30, we're 11 games over 500, so we're crawling back. I don't know if we'll ever actually
Yep.
get that record back to 500, but shout out to Dale. He never reset the record. He said he was
No,
going to reset it, and then he didn't.
I wanted to so bad, but it's like, no, we're gonna. This is gonna be a fun
Yeah,
experiment to
we're
see
not
if I can
pussies, dude. We're going to ride it out forever.
and I'm gonna probably put a couple college football longer shot, like
Oh, yeah.
make the playoffs or something to try and get some juice back. So,
Oh, yeah. I
by the
love
way,
that.
guess what tomorrow is? It's Bet Carlos Rendon Day.
Let's go, baby. So make sure you guys follow us on Action. It's Carlos Rodon on the bump day, which means we are anti-Yankees tomorrow. Even though didn't we just say we were going to stop doing that?
Yeah, and then I didn't do it for a week, and he blew up, and then I bet it again, and I'm thinking about switching up. I think about taking the over tomorrow in the Carlos Rendon. Then I don't have to worry. And
Yeah,
if the
because
Yankees blow up, then it's okay.
it's okay. So yeah, maybe sleep on that. But yeah, Rodon, hit or miss for that. But make sure you guys follow us, man. Daily Derelict on Action, 100% free. Every time we post a bet, you get notified immediately. It's 100% free. You can lock it in right then and there. But yeah, just give us a follow, man. Hit that notification button. That'd be great. Like I said, we got 4 today. Usually we get 3 to 5. Even sometimes even more. We got 5
Date
today
us,
or 4 today. So
date us,
hopefully, if
tail
3 in
us,
one
have
game
fun
or
with it.
3 in one day, hopefully Indiana can pull this back. That'd be sweet. One last thing I want to talk about really quick before we get out of here, and this is
Yep.
not, we don't even really have to talk about it. Like, we're not really going to have like a big conversation about it, but I do want to discuss it really quick, and that is, hold on, I just had it pulled up. And I exited out of it because I'm ridiculous. Here we go. All right, this season of Hard Knocks. Last season was the AFC North. Didn't watch a single episode because the Browns are so bad. It made me sad. So I didn't watch any episodes. Probably won't ever watch episodes. I remember being so excited. I'm like, Jesus Christ, we're just coming off a playoff year. We're about to be on Hard Knocks. This is going to be so much fun. We're going to see Deshaun, and people maybe start liking Deshaun maybe a little more because they're going to get. No, never happened. So this year, NFC East, let's fucking go. This would be a good one. December. For years, best division of football, Giants, Commanders, and like I said, and a lot of more reasons. I mean, going into this year, Jaden Daniels, right, and the Giants with Jackson Dart and Russell Wilson and Jameis Winston and all those guys, and George Pickens getting traded to Dallas, and obviously the Eagles coming off the Super Bowl win. This is going to be a good season. So I might I don't watch Hard Knocks really, but I do think I might tune into some of this.
I've never actually watched Hard Knocks. I've never got into it. It just feels like sports drama. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it's really not. Yeah, me too. I mean, 3-1. 3-1 Oilers.
Let's
Woo!
go.
Evan Bouchard.
That's right. Quiet down those Stars fans. Remind them that how bad their basketball teams are.
Yeah, I'm kind of the same way. I've never been super into Hard Knocks, but I didn't get to watch any of the Browns, and I'll have to make up with that for the Eagles. So I'll definitely be watching. I'll tune in. I don't know if I watch weekly, but I'll probably watch an episode or two.
I think you could like see enough on Twitter when something blows up that I can.
Yeah, I mean, nowadays there's very little you don't see, so
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
is what it is. Maybe next week we'll see Jalen Hurts meat or something. You know what I'm saying? AJ Brown shower scene
With a book.
of the book.
AJ Brown's
Jaden
book
Daniels'
club.
mom washing his back in the shower. Fucking weirdo. That woman is mentally unstable, like for sure.
She's a unique one, that's for sure.
She is. Michael Rubin. We're gonna get out of here, but Michael Rubin, just through his rookie party, that guy that runs Fanatics.
Mm-hmm.
He's the guy that hugs people from behind. Just a super weird, the all white parties. It was the rookie dinner or party. Jaden Daniels' mom was there, taking pictures with like Michael Rubin and people. Why? Like, what are you
Get
doing?
off the tit. Get off the tit.
And Jaden Daniels isn't even a rookie. He wasn't even there. She was there. It just doesn't make sense. But anyway, all right, fellas. Well, we've reached the end. Another episode of Derelict Sports Live in the goddamn books. Really appreciate you, boys. Sports Lab's the only guy that hopped in the studio. We didn't have anybody hang out today. What a down day, but it's kind of a slower day in sports. I mean, other than the MVP and like some of the announcements, they're really not we're kind of a slower day, which is fine. Friday, I would assume, I keep telling you every Wednesday we're going to do a Friday show, and then we don't. Friday, I would assume we're going to be here. I have not gotten any text from anybody about family get-togethers, any bullshit. So Friday we should be here, 7 p.m. right here on X and YouTube, 7 p.m. Central. So make sure you guys hit that notification button, man. Hit that follow button if you haven't already. Hit that subscribe button. If you're on X, man, make sure you guys share the stream, comment, follow us, whatever. If you're on YouTube though, man, if you hit that like button, it would really help us out a lot. It really helps us throw us into the algorithm. We really appreciate everybody that came out tonight and hung out. So make sure you guys hit that button. Like I said, we'll see you guys on Friday for the most part, almost positive. And again, make sure you guys go to Action Network and give us a follow. Scan that QR code, follow us on Instagram. But other than that, you guys have a good rest of your Wednesday. Have a great Thursday. Have a good rest of your work week. And we will see if any more storms hit in the Midwest, man. St. Louis, everybody, thoughts are with you. Be safe. And we will see you guys back here Friday night. You guys have a good one. Thanks for watching Derelict Sports.
Drunken intellect, got change in my pocket, $1.50 AFS.